Well, we got some breaking news. What's going on here? PSA parent company Collectors acquires Beckett. What? Oh, God. No. Are we cooked, guys? Welcome back to Treasure Theory, guys. We have some serious breaking news, and you are going to want to pay attention if you are somebody who is collecting, investing, buying graded cards, or thinking about submitting them. Because, guys, PSA's parent company, Collectors, just acquired Beckett. This is not good. This is not good if you honestly ask me. And we're going to do a deep dive into what this might mean for all your graded cards because, guys, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. But before we get into it, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And, of course, if you want some gamer subs, use my code Theory or Papa, get 10% off your order. Link down in the description below. All right, guys, let's talk about this. So in my most recent video, we talked about 3 catalysts that I thought were coming in 2026 that would negatively impact, the One Piece TCG bull market we're currently experiencing. And this was absolutely not on my list, okay, guys? This just happened December 15th. Collectors, which is the parent company of PSA, just bought Beckett. We're on their official website right now, and let's take a look at what they said. Collectors to acquire Beckett. December 15, 2025, Collectors, a leading provider of grading and marketing services in the collectible industry, announced that they have entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Beckett, one of the most respected companies in collecting. Beckett will remain an independent brand with the Collectors family of companies continuing to operate with its own operations, customer experiences, and standards around grading, marketplace, magazine, and price guide. Yeah, right. Okay. No, straight up, guys. This is not good, okay? If you honestly think about this, PSA is monopolizing the grading market, guys. Let's actually take a look at Gem Grade real quick. We can see here, this was published actually the first of the month. Back in November, PSA had a total of 1.66 million items graded. Then we had CGC with 425,000 items graded. Beckett below that with 74,000, which is actually less than I thought. And then we got Tag with 39,000 and SGC, which, by the way, is owned by Collector as well. Guys, I don't know how to frame it, okay? I don't know how to frame the situation. I'm quite shocked. I don't think anyone saw this, but it's very clear, guys, that, Collectors, who owns PSA, and I might say PSA referring to Collectors, but, guys, there is a monopoly forming in the grading world of cards, and this is bad. This is not good. Monopolies are not good, and, I really don't know what to think about this whole situation. The fact that they acquired Beckett, which, by the way, is a huge and popular grading service in the One Piece TCG. In fact, when I was getting into the One Piece card game a few years back, I remember, I never heard of Beckett. I always heard of PSA, and people were like, "Oh, the black label. You want the black label. You want the 10s you want them Beckett 10s and stuff. They're way more valuable." And we've just been seeing Beckett grow into such a prominent grading service for the One Piece card game specifically. And the fact that now PSA is buying out Beckett or Collectors, whatever, they are basically like this is not going to be good for the future of Beckett slabs and possibly PSA slabs. Because let's consider a couple of things here, okay? Why would they be buying Beckett out? Why would a company that already owns PSA, which is like the biggest grading service in the world, why would they buy out Beckett? Well, it's because they want to snub out the competition, guys. I mean, again, let's take a look. Millions of cards are being graded. PSA is at the top. Beckett wasn't really grading as much as I thought they would, but straight up, though, they were becoming a very dominant force in the grading realm. And now they're owned by PSA. We've now only got Tag and CGC. I mean, is CGC owned by Collector? What? CGC, known for grading comics, cards, and games, is owned by its parent company, Certified Collectibles Group, which itself is a majority owned by the global investment firm Blackstone. Oh my God, wow. Okay, so you're telling me we've got Collector buying up PSA Beckett and owns SGC, and we got Blackstone that owns CGC, which, by the way, Blackstone is one of the biggest investment firms in the world, guys. Oh my God, who owns Tag? Tag Grading is owned and led by its founder and CEO, Steve Cass, an experienced entrepreneur, blah, 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 blah. So you're telling me Tag is probably one of the only legitimate competitors to the grading situation outside of Blackstone. Wow, this is This is unprecedented, guys. You know, there was so many scandals that were coming out from PSA over the last year that were also really concerning. You know, PSA was buying people's graded cards after they were giving them 9s and 10s. And I was hearing from the grapevine people complaining about how their cards that were being sold that were being graded as 9s were then being bought by PSA and then were being turned into 10s to make a profit. There has been a lot of crazy scandals going on here. And guys, if there is one word that needs to be said about this whole situation, it is regulation. I can't believe I have to say it, but guys, the grading world needs regulation. We are slowly being monopolized, which, by the way, is becoming a big problem in general around the world. But to see it in the grading realm is crazy. We've got so many problems in the card world with the scalping, the prices, the inflation, the supply demand, all that sort of stuff. But guys, the fact that we now have a bigger issue with the grading realm is a big problem. I want to throw in a couple of hypotheticals here. So, you know, PSA buys Beckett. Many people who own Beckett graded cards are probably wondering, well, what does that mean for my cards? Well, of course, you know, they said in their little thing that it's not gonna change anything. You know, we're gonna continue letting them operate separately. But guys, you know, they own SGC, which has not really been doing too great, and is a clear competition to what PSA does. Why would they want to own two grading services when PSA is already a well-known, recognizable brand? They are snubbing out competition. And what it means is that Beckett's value, their grading service, their cards might lose respect in the community of grading, and it might impact the value of Beckett cards. Now, this could also impact PSA if this doesn't stop. Because if PSA is just going to completely monopolize everything that's going on, if they buy out Tag and stuff, I mean, guys, this is going to be bad news for grading service in general, okay? Because what's going to stop them from inflating the prices? How is there going to be competition? The wait times for PSA grading is going to skyrocket. There's going to be so many issues. There's grading issues that are already happening. PSA is already doing shady stuff, and buying out the competition, guys, is just not a good look. You know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really think Tag has a shot now at being a really big grading service. As long as they stay away from this sort of stuff, I do think Tag might actually be the next Beckett. Because if PSA is going to be doing this, man, we just got a serious problem. Now, do I think your PSA slabs and your Beckett slabs are in danger? I don't know. I think PSA slabs are probably going to be fine. But Beckett, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what this means. I mean, Beckett over time could just slowly get snubbed out. Their services might plummet. You know, there might be more issues. We have no idea. Guys, we need diversity in the grading world, okay? Not monopolies. Competitions keep companies honest, and choice protects consumers. You know, monopolies create a single point of failure when you think about it. Because one bad policy could affect everything. And people are paying a pretty penny to get their cards graded. They're waiting a significant amount of time, months and months. And of course, people are paying higher prices to get these cards that are graded as well in PSA 9s and 10s. You know, so if PSA or collectors, I guess, starts making bad policy decisions, this could absolutely impact the value of your cards. And not to mention, you know, pricing stays fair through competition. You know, we're going to see the prices of grading cards go up the more PSA and Beckett and all these grading companies start getting acquired. Like, the nature of monopolizing a sector is pretty straightforward, guys. You know, companies can say, oh, we're not going to do things. We're going to let them do their thing. You know, they can say it all they want, but it's very obvious what's happening here, guys. And think about the culture. We need culture and diversity with grading, guys. You know, the card world can't just be kept alive by one grading service. You know, like, example, I don't have any Beckett slabs at the moment. But, you know, as of right now, I've got this beautiful Nami slab from Tag. It's a great looking card. I mean, the slab itself looks fantastic. And not to mention, there were so many issues going on with people who were essentially breaking slabs and pulling out the sticker here and replacing the card with fake proxy cards. Not to mention, Tag uses AI as well to to look through all the imperfections and properly grade cards, which is really interesting. While we've seen with like PSA, and I mean, I've never graded with Beckett, but you know, human error is a big issue. But guys, overall, I really don't think this is good. I don't think this is good. I think if you want to collect cards, invest in One Piece and all that sort of stuff, I really think you should consider buying the card raw over buying slabs right now. I mean, you know, I'm personally somebody that does that usually anyways. I like having a couple of cards collected, but listen, guys, there's nothing wrong with buying the raw card. I mean, it's cheaper, and hey, if you submit it yourself and it becomes a PSA 10 or whatever, you're laughing, and you didn't pay an extra like $600, $700, $1,000 for it. But it's like, who do you grade with now? Okay, who do you grade with now? What is this going to do for the future of grading cards, etc., etc.? And I think I'm going to leave it at that, guys, because I don't know what this truly means for the future of grading, but I implore you guys to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this is going to be really bad for the market? Do you think this is going to be really bad for Pokemon, One Piece, just grading in general? Do you think we need regulation? I personally think we do, guys. If we're going to treat cards like these investment vehicles, if this industry is going to be taken more seriously, we absolutely need higher standards being put in place to protect the value of these cards. Otherwise, these services are going to mean absolutely nothing down the road, because monopolies will just completely corrode what it means to grade your cards and to collect them and to own them and to invest in them. But with that being said, guys, leave a like. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Of course, subscribe to the channel. I hope you did enjoy this video. A video should pop up on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.